Welcome to another episode of Along the Way with GMS. This is episode 4. If you guys have not been following us, please go back and listen to episodes 1, 2, and 3. Just getting myself together in the studio here. This is the Along the Way podcast where sometimes I figure things out along the way. See what I did there? Now, basically, this podcast, you get to ride along with me, an independent hip hop artist, as I release my debut solo multimedia project, which is called Along the Way 777, on multiple platforms from vinyl to MP3 to NFT, explaining the process, the whole thing as it goes along. Now, just give me a moment here. I'm adjusting some of my studio parameters. We do have the live chat on, so feel free to say hello. But yeah, like I said, I'm releasing this debut solo multimedia project on multiple platforms from vinyl to MP3 to NFT, and I'll explain a little bit more about that later, explaining the process and what's going on behind the scenes leading up to the next single, video, or NFT drop along the way. And anytime there's technical difficulties or any holdup, you guys are going to know about it because we've discussed it right here on the show. Just check in with my producer real quick. Okay, we're good to go. Let me see. StreamYard. Yep, cool. Just checking the mic levels. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me, if it's good or if it's too loud. Sometimes I have it a little too loud because even though I have headphones on, that's for me to hear the other sounds like the intro music and things that are going on in the podcast. And if I have a guest, I'll hear them talking, but these headphones are not letting me hear my own voice. So sometimes for fear that it's not loud enough, I crank it up really loud. And then when I listen back later, it's a little loud. So let me know how it's doing over there. I'm going to put up we are in the chat. This is Along the Way with GMS. So if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Do me a favor, wipe your feet on the welcome mat by hitting that like button. Swipe that thumbs up on your way in. Hopefully you have a good time and learn something new today. Make sure you subscribe on whatever platform you're hearing this on. I'm always told by my my YouTubers that I have to say that a lot. I don't tell people to subscribe enough. But I'm pretty sure you guys know how it works by now. Now, before we get into today's topic, I'm sure you read the title, Where Did We Meet? We're going to discuss that in a few minutes. But let me give you an update on the project Along the Way 777 and the teacher single that's out. All right. First things first, the teacher music video, the official music video that we've been waiting for months as I fine-tune things in the edit and as I set up the digital distribution and as I got things ready. It's finally ready to be released, and it's going to drop this coming Friday, March 4th, on both the MCMI and the Cybersky videos channel. Shout out to all my people listening on MCMI Report right now. Shout out to the Cybersky videos crew. Now, you can join us at 7 p.m. on MCMI Report. Put that up. And you can join us at 7:30 on Cybersky Videos YouTube. I'm showing you the websites right now, mcmireport.com, cybersky.org. But what you want to do is, and maybe I'll put an embedded player in there. I will. I'll put it on both sites as well. But what you want to do is go to the YouTube channel. You don't want to watch it on an embed because then you can't leave comments. You can't hit the like button and things like that. So, yeah, if you're one of my students or teachers that work at the school where I work at, or parents, friends, and family, please go check out the video on the Cybersky Videos Network. And for everybody else in the hip hop community, join us right here on MCMI Report. Now, the project Teacher, the single, it now has full digital distribution. Formerly, it was only available on Bandcamp and Patreon. I do have a Patreon, and My artist Patreon is patreon.com/itsGMS. All right. So you can go there if you want to support and follow in that way. So the song has been up there, and the video has been up there too for a while, for about a week, because that's where you get the early access. And it's also on Bandcamp. So if those of you are not familiar with Bandcamp, it's sort of like an artist hub where you can create a page with all your different works and material, albums, mixtapes, singles, things like that. And you can put them for stream and for sale right there. And to stream it, it lets you stream the entire song. You don't get like a 30-second preview and then you have to buy it like on some platforms. So Bandcamp is good because you can just listen to everything for free. And then if you feel like contributing and supporting the artist, you could. And if you need the digital download because you're a DJ or a producer and you want to do a remix or anything like that, you can download it from there too. But now it has full digital distribution. What that means is it's available on all platforms: Amazon Music, Apple Music, Tidal. What other places can you stream? Oh, Spotify, right? And all streaming services. You can tag it on Shazam. And thing else, I might be missing something, but there's about 100 or even more than 100 digital platforms that sell music. And by putting it on full digital distribution, that means that now you can search for the song. All you have to do is type GMS teacher on any of those platforms. That's going to come up. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the distribution, but I did pull something up I wanted to share with you. Here is the video that we're going to be watching together next week. So as you can see, this is the MCMI Report YouTube. And if you haven't been to MCMI Report, go check it out. It's a lot of different stuff there. Shout out to my partners, LR Blitzkrieg, Keith Wildchild, and The Marksman. We've got several podcasts up there. I see they're discussing the Hawkeye TV show, Spider-Man, different things here. Let's see, Shang-Chi review, Disney Day, Marvel announcements. And then we've got the MCMI Report where we have the three of us in Hydra discussing different things like new music, apparel, boxing, things like that. I see we have some stuff about battle rap. So anyway, if you go right here, if you see, this is the GMS teacher video premiere. Premiere is 7 p.m. You can go on this link and you can click reminder. My reminder is already on, so when I click it, it's going to turn it off. So it'll say set reminder. So you simply click it, and now what that means is maybe 10 minutes before the video is live, a little notification will pop up on your phone or your computer saying this video is about to go live in 10 minutes. So you can get ready to watch it with us together. All right. Then we also have the at 7:30 p.m. It's going to go live on Cybersky Videos channel. You can also check out the Cybersky Videos channel. We've got breaking news of like stolen Bitcoin getting returned and the people who stole it getting caught. Things about Elon Musk, his new $50,000 smart home that he sold his 7 mansions for tens of millions of dollars each and bought a $50,000 little box home, a prefabbed container box looking home. And it's pretty nice and luxurious, but it's only 375 square feet. And it's very simple, has everything you need and nothing more. He's downsizing. So if you want to hear stories about that, different tech stories. Plus, they just came out with 5 new cars that are going to come out from Tesla over the next year. One of them has the option to put solar panels in. That's the van. One of them is only $25,000 and one of them is $35,000. And there's other different things that are interesting about the new vehicles that Tesla's releasing. So you can find stories like that here on the Cybersky Videos channel. This is us right now. Where did we meet? But again, the video, GMS teacher featuring Bamboo from the Lights Out crew, shout out to him, will be released at 7:30 on the Cybersky channel. So set a reminder and do me that favor. Now I'm going to get rid of that. Yeah, so now you're caught up on the video. Let's talk about the full digital distribution. How does an artist such as myself, or maybe you out there who are looking for distribution, say you got a song, you want to put it out, maybe have your friends be able to go download it from iTunes, or be able to say, Alexa, play this song, and your song plays. That's Amazon Music. So, you can individually go to one of these platforms and you can just put your music on there. I'm actually going to take off the headphones. I don't need them anymore. You can put your music on those platforms individually. You can create an account. Just click, search for how you can log in and create an account as an artist to put music on Apple Music, on Amazon, on Tidal, Spot. You can go on Spotify, create your own account, and you can distribute yourself on that one account pretty easily. But digital distribution means that you upload your content to one place, the cover art, the description, the title, the producer, the copyright, all that stuff. And you put the file up, and then that distributor clicks a button, and over a period of a few days, it propagates to all of the digital online music channels and platforms. So in the past, for other people's stuff, and I think one or two group projects where I was doing a song with Hydra or crew members from The Plague, and also other artists that we've had on MCMI, we've used this place called TuneCore a lot. TuneCore is an industry standard. It was the biggest and the best maybe 10 years ago. Since then, there's been a lot of competition, people doing similar things to TuneCore at half the price. So we did put out Chords Cordero and Sir Manley's album called The Hybrid. We put that out using DistroKid distribution. And I think we put PH's Fly Away single. Was it Fly Away? Yeah, we put the Fly Away single up on DistroKid as well. And those two services, they both distribute. They have a few differences, maybe one of them, it costs more per album. So for an album, they charge $50. Maybe the other one only charges $25. But the one that charges $50, they give you more analytics and more info about where your record's getting sold and your streams and things like that. So there's different advantages for the different platforms. But this time around, I decided to go with a new company, and that's what I'm excited to share with you guys. The new company is called Media Famous. Now, some of you may know this music producer by the name of Domingo. He's well known in the hip hop industry. But for those of you who aren't familiar, as familiar with him, Domingo is a producer. He's from East New York, Brooklyn. He produced some of hip hop's most respected and well-known artists like Big Pun, Fat Joe, KRS-One, Rakim, Cool G Rap, Razcast, Joel Ortiz, Crooked Eye, Chris Rivers, Eminem, Shaquille O'Neal. Maybe you've heard of some of those people. And he's also produced records for independent artists on labels like QN5 Music, which is where, he and I became friends and affiliates through association with QN5. Shout out to Tone Deaf, Pack FM, everyone on the QN5 label. So his discography is like a who's who of hip hop music. He has over 400 produced records, maybe 430, 440. He's got over 250 beats placed for scores on various TV shows and movies. So he's made his mark not only in the music and entertainment industry, but his legacy foundation is imprinted on the world of hip hop forever. A couple of standout songs that I believe he did is, I think he did The MC from KRS. Who am I? The MC, right? I think he did Dream Shatterer for Big Pun. So I'm just going to leave it right there. Those two beats alone give you an idea if you want to research his discography. He's got a lot of dope joints that he's doing. He's got a lot of plaques. And he's sat behind the boards for some of the greatest mic controllers ever to do it. From way back in the day when he first got started with Marley Marl back in the 80s all the way till today, just consistently putting out music. So yeah, over 30-year career. He's responsible for carving out, a lot of the classic East Coast flavor, the sound, along with other producers like Pete Rock and DJ Premier, and, those producers that have like that boom bap East Coast sound. Domingo is one of them who defines that sound in that era and that style from the East Coast. Now, why am I talking about Domingo right now? Well, another thing that he did is start his own digital distribution service to help artists like myself and maybe like some of you out there trying to figure out what digital distro to use. His digital distribution company is called like I said, Media Famous. I'm going to do another screen share and introduce you to some of the things that he does on Media Famous. Let's see. Let's take a look. Yeah, I don't have a producer doing the boards today, so I've got to click on all my shares individually. So if I pause for a minute and I'm looking around, I'm just clicking on everything. I do have an intern who was supposed to start a couple of weeks ago, and I'm waiting for him to get acquainted with the system so that he can start doing these live broadcasts with me, and then you guys can meet him at that date. But here's Media Famous, is their website. And besides the fact that they have a really good deal, like in terms of how much you pay for each song or each album that you distribute, they're very competitive. TuneCore charges $50 per album and $25 per single. So if you're putting up one song, it's $25, and then every year you got to renew that $25. If you put out 3 or 4 separate singles, that's $25 for each one. If you call it an album and package them together, which you can do, then it's $50 for the album. Again, if you're a label or an artist that's prolific and you put out 4 or 5, 6, 7 albums, now you have to pay $50 every year to renew each of those 7 albums. So now your bill is like $350. So what's great with Domingo is he doesn't his pricing. I'm not Domingo, but with Media Famous, the company, what their pricing is like $10, and then you're as an artist registered and you can put up, your uploads. Getting a couple of notifications. Let me turn this down a little bit. Turn off my phone. Should have did that before the broadcast, right? Hey, we turn it down along the way. That's how it works. So he charges $10, and then you can do unlimited uploads of songs for that year for $10. So you can just keep releasing another one. So that's a really good deal. But next year you got to re-up again. Now, if you have a different artist, you can't be a label and put out like 5 different artists. For each artist that you registered, you got to pay the $10. But that's still really good pricing for the amount of songs that you can put up. Besides that, he's does all the services very similar to those other companies that I mentioned. You can look up online if you want to see all the details. It's minutia. It's not really that important. But he also offers these social promotions. For instance, social media blitz, get in front of thousands of new listeners with the social media blitz. And basically he will send out promotion about your record on his Media Famous social media channels on all different social medias. So they're going to post your cover art. They're going to tell people the link. They're going to say this video is out or this record is out. Tell people to go see that. And he's got a large reach because, like I said, I named all those people he's produced, and he's been in the industry 30 years. So his social media is probably bigger than a lot of independent artists. He got playlist promotion, which basically means you need help getting your music onto playlists like Spotify playlists and other places that stream. So he can help get your music onto those playlists because as a label, he's got more push, and as a company that has so many different artists being distributed, he's got a little bit more pull and can, put stuff distributed through Media Famous onto those playlists. And also he just knows how to do it. He can help you out. You can call tech support, go on the website, click on tech support, get help. There's video promotion. So they'll promote your video on their TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Basically, he's got, just to give you one example, I think maybe 50,000 on Instagram. I don't know how much his YouTube channel has, like 38,000 subscribers or something. Is more than the amount that we have over here. So for him pushing the video on his YouTube, that's going to expose the song to a lot more people, and it's going to help with promotion. He's got his distribution, which I talked about. He's got an email blast, got 50,000 music industry professionals on an email list that he sends out. This is the new record that we just put out on Media Famous. And most of these distributors, they don't do any of this stuff. Now, you do have to pay more for this. This doesn't come for the $10. But each of these things is a few $100s. It's very affordable. It's not, you don't need, a $10,000 budget or something to do this. It's very affordable. So it's really good and caters to the smaller independent artists who's basically funding everything themselves or through the donations from their fans and supporters and followers. Now, they have something called digital billboards where you can get your your cover art or your photo or information about your release put up on digital billboards in Times Square, for example, and in other locations like Times Square that have those big digital billboards. So, and I've researched this before. If I were to go myself, my own route to get a digital billboard, it would cost me 3 or 4 times more money than if I go through Media Famous. They actually have a better deal, probably because they do it in bulk with lots of artists. So again, and they've got other stuff, Link My Media. So go check out mediafamous.com if you want to know more about that. And if you do use the promotion, if you do sign up and it asks, where did you hear it was from, online, from a friend already, just check from a friend and just drop my name in there so he knows that I sent you. That's only going to get you, the same distribution, plus maybe you'll get a glass of water along with that. That's it. But it does help me for him to know that I'm sending people his way. I'm not getting any kind of money or sponsorship from him. I'm strictly shouting him out because I've known the guy for years. He's a great dude, hard worker. He's got a great company, and I'm using his distribution for this record. So I wanted to share that with you guys in case that's helpful to you as well. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. If you've been here and you've been watching and lurking and not hitting that like button, swipe that like button. Let me take a look in the comments, see if there's anything in there. Hey, I see a couple shout outs. Hey, Shanna, good to see you. Appreciate that. MCMI report in the building. Stairs Academy is in the building. Cybersky Videos is in the building. All right. So let's move on to the next topic before we get into how did we meet. But Shanna, put how we met into the live chat if you would, and anyone else who's there. And if you're not able to get into the live chat, just go into the comments under the video and tell me a story about how we met. But another thing that I have done in the promotion of the teacher video and the teacher single is I put up a flow page. A flow page is like one place you can go get information about the artist or about the project. So this is my teacher flow page, and I'll read it to you guys. Basically says, Graham Cybersky is a hip hop and jazz musician and producer who is also a New York City public school teacher, grades K to 8, in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Mr. Cybersky teaches music privately and does educational workshops, runs internship programs, and creates educational videos with his nonprofit org, Stairs Academy. And this is one of the educational videos that I'm talking about. So now I also have one that's, as a musician. This is my musician, Graham GMS Cybersky. This is my teacher one, Graham M. Cybersky, Graham GMS Cybersky. And this one has a lot more info on the music and podcasts and things like that. So it's pretty extensive, but it basically says, Graham Cybersky, musician, educator, MC, producer, and DJ from Brooklyn, New York, co-founder of Hydra, The Plague, and MCMI, founder of Stairs Academy nonprofit, and creator of Cybersky Videos. When not doing music, teaching, or running his nonprofit GMS blogs and vlogs, like we're doing right now, about hip-hop, education, technology, health, and martial arts. All right, on the Cybersky Videos channel and the MCMI report. Now, the teacher video premiere reminder is right there, so people can click on that to set a reminder. And then you've got links to the music. You can go here to see it on Bandcamp, get the teacher DJ pack, pre-order the album Along the Way 777. You can click here and play the Spotify right there. Let's see if that plays. Let's see if it's playing. Yeah, I hear it. All my life I've been a teacher. Yeah. So that's the teacher single. And then, Amazon Music. So you click on one of these links and it'll take you to the page and you can play, share, subscribe, comment, or purchase the download. And so different people have different platforms they like to use. A lot of people, their go-to is Spotify, and that's cool. And Spotify is right here. You can go on that too. Let's check it out on Spotify. Now, one thing that was stressing me recently is that on the Spotify page, they had my artist name linking to the wrong place. So you see how it says teacher, and then it says GMS right there. They've got the wrong year. It's 2022. It says 2019. It's a small detail. I don't really care, but people have told me someone might not put you on a new music playlist because they think it's old music, even though it's a new release. They don't realize that because it says 2019. So I've updated. I did an update. They're going to change that in the next day or two. But where it says GMS, when you would click on that and it wouldn't go to my GMS page. It would go to other people who have the name, like they have a band called GMS, something mad, growling mad scientist. There's other bands, and shout outs to them. But when you click on my link, I want it to go to my page. Thanks. So right now it's the only thing I have in there, but I'm going to start adding releases that I'm on of other artists into this page and put it into playlists so that if you're browsing on Spotify, you can hear other things I've done. And I've made a few playlists here, as you can see, and I'm going to be publishing them soon. Just different music. One playlist is all the Along the Way songs. One is The Plague, my crew, all Plagues music. There's an MCMI playlist, all the MCMI artists. There's Weldon, Fela, and James. That'll be Weldon Irvine, Fela Kuti, and James Brown playlist. Jazz instrumentals. And of course, my partner Keith Wildchild Middleton has the Levels Up Monday podcast, so I threw that playlist in my section as well. He does these great motivational talks about music and what inspires him and stuff. Anyway, you can get to all of that by either going to my GMS flow page. You go to flowpage.com/GMS_MCMI. Or if you just want the info on the teacher record, it's going to be here. And these are my teacher social media, which is separate from my artist social media. You just go to flowpage.com/teacher, and there you are. All right. Let me stop my share. Oops. So now we're going to get to the main event, the main topic of today's podcast, which is, where did we meet? I want to know where we met. So I'm going to open up the comments. A little comment to someone. Where we met. Yeah. So, and you can do this later if you can't get into the chat. Sometimes people are like, oh, I couldn't find the chat on my phone, live chat, whatever. It's all good. Drop it in a comment later. But where did we meet? Did we meet through teaching? Are you one of my former students who's now grown and found the podcast? Are you one of my parents' music students, because my family teaches music? It's a whole family of teachers. Maybe, you know, you're following this podcast and you're seeing what Graham's doing, but you know, you could be someone who knows me through my parents. Do you know me through hip hop? Is it The Plague? Is it MCMI? Did you used to watch my group Hydra when we would perform back in the days? Do you know me from freestyling and ciphers? I have a lot of friends that I've made over the years, and we've maintained these connections. And we talk on Facebook, even though we're all grown now, have responsibilities, can't hang out as much. Occasionally we see each other at an event. But, you know, we met just rhyming in the street in like the late 90s or early 2000s, just ciphering. Maybe you know me from the battle rap scene, either as a freestyle battler way back in the day, or on the current battle rap scene, just being a judge, being in the audience, being the corner person for another MC who's battling. And even we put on our own battle one time called MCMI Warzone. Shout outs to Cortez. He had the headline battle, and Automatic Ray. But, you know, how do you know me? Is it from that? Or do you know me from Park Slope? A lot of people grew up with me in the neighborhood. We used to play basketball. Some people went to my different schools, 39, 51, John Jay. You know, maybe you know me from college. I went to 4 different colleges. Maybe you know me from Brooklyn College, where I got my undergrad. Maybe you know me from Toro, where I got my first master's. Maybe we met when I was doing my administrative master's in educational leadership and technology over at NYIT. And then about 3 years ago, I took a sabbatical and I did a course of study at the College of Staten Island. So, you know, maybe we were in class and you followed the YouTube back then, and now you're checking out this podcast. Could be other places we've met. Where else might you know? Oh, I'm a martial artist. Maybe you know me from the Kung Fu school, or one of the, you know, expos, or, you know, Chulun Memorial dinners. Shouts to my Seagung, Chulun, RIP, or my Sifu Carl Albright, or one of the other students in the school, Iron Mantis, also known as Northern Southern Fist, Combined Fist, Sifu Carl Albright, Law Clan. So maybe that's what you know me from. I do a lot of different things, you know, they're not all connected. Sometimes, like right now, and that's why I put out this single called Teacher. Sometimes the teaching world and the MC world, the hip hop production world meet, because I teach a class in hip hop production called Music and Technology. That's for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And then that's as part of my role as a tech teacher. And then I produce beats with the class. And this particular song, Teacher, I made that beat in class while demonstrating GarageBand for students. And I said, this beat kind of came out pretty good. Let me work on it. I went home, I got inspired, I wrote the song, I ended up using it. And so those two things are similar because I produce beats for my career, for my music, and then I, teach music production. But some parts of my life really are separate. I go sailing occasionally, not a lot, but a few main times in my life I've gone away and lived on all wooden tall ships that just travel by sail, sloops. And I lived there for, a week or two, cut off from civilization, going up and down a river or in the ocean if it's a seafaring vessel. And I have friends that I met from doing that. I have friends that we just grew up together. Our parents knew each other. So everything isn't always hip hop. And I'm also a jazz musician. So occasionally I might be playing and sit in on flute or sit in on piano somewhere and, make some friends, some connections like that. So that's what I mean by where did we meet? How did we meet? Where do you know me from? This is like one of those popular posts on social media people put up and they say, tell me where we met. Sometimes they do it seriously and say like, for real, where did we meet? And people have told me when I've posted that on Facebook, they've said, I knew you from Brooklyn College. You had the radio show Planet Brooklyn on WBCR. One day you had on Kango Kid, RIP, as a guest, or one day you had OBS, Me Pi Bad Seed PH. And I rolled through the studio, said what up, and then we became friends. I think that Pack of Them tells me that we met at Brooklyn College before, even joining together as part of the Plague and all that. I thought I met him like from doing shows in Nuyorican and stuff, but he's saying that, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Pack, throw it in the comment, but I think you told me that you really first met me because of the radio show in Brooklyn College, and that's where we met. And then later, we started seeing each other in shows. It's funny like that. I got friends that I thought I knew from hip hop, and they're like, "Nah, we used to play basketball back in the day." Like AL Skills, shout out to AL, a dope MC, and we would freestyle outside the Nuyorican. Both of us would perform at different events, SOBs, Knitting Factory, Lyricist Lounge things, little underground shows, and we knew each other from doing that for a while. And then one day we realized, nah, you know what though? Park Slope, 51's Park, playing ball. Yeah, we knew each other before we both knew that each other rhymed. We actually knew each other. And someone else I want to give a shout out who I also grew up with in Park Slope is Mark, Mr. Met from Brooklyn Academy. We knew each other growing up since before all this rap stuff happened. I grew up in Park Slope, same neighborhood, went to the same schools, played basketball a lot. We were very competitive on the ball court. And, as we started getting into rhyming, we would meet up on the Ave in Park Slope with our crews and kick ciphers and kind of playfully battle each other, like who's the nicest in Park Slope and things like that, before we, got older and ventured out and into the world and actually said, hey, I could actually write a song and do this music stuff. So how did we meet? How did you and I meet? I'm sure that some of you are going to say, like, I don't really know you. A friend of mine, he was listening to a song, and then I saw you in the video, this other artist, and then I saw you had a podcast, and I was like, oh, let me see what this guy's up to. Oh, you know where else? Another place we might have met. Me and my partner from MCMI, LR Blitzkrieg, he and I had a promotion company for about 7 years, maybe a little more, but I think officially we call it 7 years, which is good. Along the way, 777. So we would promote clubs. It was called Stormtroopers Entertainment. So we were promoting our Hydra performances, our group, and then after a while, we started to get hired by people who wanted us to promote their event. Now, of course, the first way you would do that is just book us. If we're on the flyer, we're going to perform, we're going to promote because we want a lot of people to come and be in the audience. But then they were like, nah, we just want you to, we got a DJ and, it's just a party, but you could tell all your fam to come through to it and promote it and do a guest list. So we started getting paid for that. And after one or two for higher situations, we started building up a mega list and could bring out a lot of people to clubs. So then more and more clubs and event throwers would hire us. And then after a while, we got big enough that we could actually support a party ourselves. So we started doing our own deals with the clubs, and hiring DJs and hiring sub promoters to do the flyer work beneath us, and also created websites and stuff. So that was Stormtroopers Entertainment. And we hosted a lot of events. It was times when we had weekly events, like every Wednesday, Club Envy, every Friday, Club Cheetah, every Saturday, Cheetah, every Sunday, Lot 61, every Tuesday, Luan. I'm naming clubs. We did all kinds of parties. We'd had parties at Speed. We had parties at what's another dope club we had? The Tunnel. We did stuff at Limelight, Main Ingredient. Shout out to Blue Davis, Mike Malbon, and all the fam, Chance, Ayak, everybody from that promotion, Coltrane, Curtis, and all of them. So yeah, man, maybe you know us from just getting hype in a club, just being in the VIP and leaning over the ropes, and getting our friends in on guest lists, and comping people and getting drink tickets, and basically living the life and enjoying the club scene, as promoters. Maybe you know us from Stormtroopers. But let me know, how did we meet? Throw it in the comments below the video, and throw it into the live chat if you happen to catch this live. But if not, throw that in the comments. That's the main topic of this video, is where did we meet? I remember there's a song by Pete Rock and CL Smooth, right? They reminisce over you, Troy. He had a line in there, something, how did you and I meet from the Big Lou's fighting in the street, right? So that's really what I'm on right now. How did we meet? Now, if we don't know each other that personally, and we only know each other online, or you're just following the podcast and you never actually met me, that's cool. Let me know in the comments. And if you didn't meet me, someone's like, I can't remember. Oh, that's hilarious. China says, I remember some of those days. Hey, China, put in the comments how we met, where we met. Some people who know us know the secret. This place has closed down over the years, but my wife and I, we met at an event actually in Manhattan in the Lower East Side, and the rest is history. But I'll let her post something in the comments. So if you haven't met me yet, you can either just be like, oh yeah, no, my man put me onto your podcast, or one of my friends told me that their former teacher had a record out and I went looking for it and I found your podcast, whatever it is. Or this was just a thumbnail that I clicked on. I saw it in my suggested videos. That's cool. You can write that and tell the truth, or you can make up a funny story. So if we never met, just be like, just make up something, one time we were on a flight to Vegas and it was a lot of turbulence, and you were in the seat that, helps people out the exit, and the pilot did a really shaky kind of crash landing in a field, and then you were helping people out. And then I never forgot that. And then I looked you up, make up a wild story like that and just throw it in the comments for fun. So China says, she's telling everyone in the live chat, I don't know if the live chat is going to remain active after the podcast. I might leave it up or I might not. But she says we met at Baby Jupiter in the Lower East Side. That's right, Baby Jupiter. Famous spot. A lot of interesting things happen there. I mean, the place has a huge history. It was a restaurant that had a stage and performance area in the next door. It was like a double spot, One side had the performance venue, one side had the tables and the bar. And a lot of, artists would perform there. And one day I came down to check out the spot. We were just starting to do promotions. We were looking for a place to do like a weekly hip hop event, showcase, open mic, book a lot of artists that we like in the underground, try to get them more light. Like we would book people like Jean Grey, Bad Seed, Shabam Sadiq, and just people that we felt their music needed to be out there more. Mozzie Soul Purpose, The Ancients, shout out to Mozzie and Pays. And so we went to the spot to look at it and see if we wanted to do our events there. And while we were there, I looked over to the bar and I saw this female. I was like, gotta go see what's going on over there. I'll be right back, fellas. Left my little crew, went over to the bar, and I just was hanging out. I'm waiting for a drink, and I was overhearing that she was ordering a drink. And I'm not going to tell the whole story today. That'll be a whole nother episode, how Sheena and I met and how that led to us getting married. But the short abbreviated version of it is, I know you guys are like, tell us all, GMS. The short version for today is, I struck up a conversation based on something I heard her saying to the bartender, and she found that a little interesting. Oh, this guy's saying that, she found that funny, that I would interject myself into the conversation. But it wasn't a pickup line. It was smooth and natural. It wasn't like, hey, do you come here often? No, nothing like that. So, then we got to talking, and then, we didn't become a couple till a little while after that, but that's where we first met. But where did we meet? Where did you and I meet? Oh, she says, you were promoting an event, gave me a flyer. Yes. And the rest is history. Right. Well, did I give you a flyer that night? Were we there promoting our flyer for our event that we were going to promote for the following week or 2 weeks later? Or were we scoping out the event and hadn't booked that event yet? I'm getting old. It's been so many years now. That was 1999. That was the summer of 99. So my memory is starting to play tricks with me. We talked about that once, how after something happens, like a week later, you've lost about 25% of your memory of the incident. So your mind plugs in 25% of details that you don't really remember and just changes it a little bit. And then if a year goes by, you only remember like 50% of it now. So sometimes when you retell the story, you change it again. That's why people get into arguments over what really happened. So I can't remember that detail. I'm just going to be honest. But Sheena says that I gave her a flyer. So I guess we already had the spot booked and we were ready to go. So yeah, I told her, come to the Hydra Presents show. We got these artists on the. Now here's a question for Sheena. We'll put my wife on the spot. Do you still have that flyer? You should have kept that in a scrapbook. The first flyer I gave you of how we met. Come on, baby. Got to have that flyer. I'm curious as to who was on the bill, because we did about 6 or 7 events in a row, different weeks in a row, different artists. And so, I remember a lot of artists that we had, but who was on that first Hydra Presents flyer? She says, yes, she does have it. She probably can't find it instantly right now, but that's cool that you have that. I want to do an MCMI report with Wild Child and Blitzkrieg where we talk about that event. That'll be really dope. Yeah. Oh, you don't have. Oh, I thought you wrote. I saw you put in the chat. Yep, and then this is unfortunately not. Okay, cool. I guess she was agreeing with my story, not the flyer. Well, Wild Child or Blitz may have that flyer, or someone who went to the show may have that flyer. So that's how we met. But how did we meet? You and I out there listening. How did we meet? Not in front of Big Lou's fighting in the street. Like, how did we meet? I'm gonna tell the story of how I met a legendary MC, promoter, and just a stand-up dude in the game whose birthday just passed about 2-3 days ago. So I'm gonna give him a shout out. Poison Pen, aka Pen Nostrin. He's got other AKAs, but I'm not gonna blow him up right now. But yeah, man, shout out, happy birthday belated to Poison Pen. A shout out to Sav Kills. I think it's his birthday. I think it's Sav's birthday, not Jay Ronan's, but Jay Ronan has an event. I think it's a Sav Kills annual birthday party. I wanted to go to that, but I'm here with you guys doing this, so maybe I'll go by a little later. But shout out to Penn, and I'm gonna tell you where me and Penn met. Now, people have seen Poison Pen and GMS together lots of times because we're always at battles, we're always at EOW, we're always at hip hop performances at different venues. We've gone to Canada, KOTD, and different places, right? So you see us around a lot, but he's from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. So that's right where I teach, where the school is located. So we have a rich history, but we actually met in the 1990s. I don't know what year. Maybe he does, but there was an event. I don't remember if it was Bragging Rights or another battle. It was someone's event. Was it a Rocky LaMontagne event, or was it Fareed? Fareed? Or was it another battle, like Hooked Battles or one of those others? But there was some kind of MC battle going on, the type where you show up, you have no idea who you're battling. It's not a pre-written, prepared battle. You have to go off the top freestyle. You're not supposed to use pre-written punchlines and jokes that you've brought for the battle. You're supposed to say stuff that no one's ever heard before, and you're supposed to read the room and read your opponent and make up stuff right off the top about what's going on and battle them at the same time. So the two of us were in a battle at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe in the Lower East Side, New York. They called our names out. On this side, G-Man, I think that's how I was going by then. And then they called out an AKA that he made up for himself, that he put so that people won't know who it is when they call him. And also because we would write down different names and put different tickets into the hat to get picked out for the battle, so we'd have more chance of getting called. So I might have put G-Man and then the Mad Strangler and then Frogs and different little AKAs I had, and no one would know who that is. But if they called out, and next up to battle is Frogs, then I'd be like, oh, that's me. And they'd be like, oh, G. I was like, no, that's my new AKA. And then we'll go up there. But we battled, and after that battle, it was we were a little bit, standoffish, because we had just been dissing each other brutally in hip hop battle fashion, and we were rivals, So but we dapped it up. It wasn't on any kind of violence or beef. We don't really have that in the battle rap scene like that. Everybody knows, like, if you can't dish it, if you can't take it, don't dish it out. You can't battle rap unless you got thick skin. Nobody takes this stuff personally, even though people sometimes act like they're taking it personally, and they act upset, and sometimes they get angry. That's part of the drama. It's a performance that you're putting on for the audience. I'm letting you guys in on a little behind the scenes. A lot of times, most of the time, there's a few true enemy situations where people really can't stand each other, and then they finally get put on a card to battle each other, and they work out all their issues. But most of the time, it's just friendly competition about who's the nicest. It's not really personal, even though you might say some personal things, but it's not to be taken personal. So after the show, people go for a drink and they talk about it, and they end up going on tour together, kind of like the Versus situation. After you do Versus and you go on a tour, So anyway, that's how me and Poison Pan met. And then, over the years, my crew was popping up at multiple battles, and we would started getting booked for performances, and his crew started getting booked. His crew was Stronghold at the time. Shout out to them. And over the years, you meet thousands of people at these events, but only a handful of them stay with you, over the years, and you just end up remaining friends. So happy birthday 2 days later, Poison Pen, and that's how we met. So I want to know from the people watching this video, please go into the comments and let me know how you and I met. I'm going to give you one more, since I mentioned Jay Ronan. For those who don't know, he's a DJ and mixtape producer, and out of Brooklyn. He has an event tonight in Williamsburg. It's the Sav Kills birthday party, I believe. So, but we didn't meet only through hip hop. Like, he also studied Kung Fu with the same teacher that I am, that I follow. So my Sifu, Carl Albright, I've been studying with Carl Albright for, over 30 years, but Jay Ronan, back in the day, for a little while, he took some classes. He was part of the school. I think he told me it's when they were in the Bay Ridge location. And so he knows, we know some of the same people through martial arts. And he has a podcast, by the way. It's called Rollin' with Ronin. You can go check that out. Just do a search on YouTube. I'm not sure. You can do Rollin' with Ronin, Ronin, and they'd maybe put DJ Ronin in the search too, and you'll find his channel. But he talks to different Kung Fu masters, and they talk about martial arts. I think he's studying jiu-jitsu now, so that's why it's, Rollin' with Ronin. But yeah, he and I believe we knew each other from just Brooklyn, and then through Kung Fu, and then through hip hop finally later, as he became a DJ and I was rapping, and he's like, oh yeah, come through, do this mixtape, or I'm going to be DJing at this event. We started to know each other through that, but I don't think we met at an MC event. But I'm going to ask you, Ronan, when you watch this later, because I know you're at your event, go in the comments and tell everyone, your recollection of where we met. How did we meet? How do you and I know each other? Another way some people might have come to the channel or come to follow me as GMS the MC is through the movie FREESTYLE. So shout out to DJ Organic, aka Kevin Fitzgerald, who's the producer and filmmaker of that film, The FREESTYLE, The Art of Rhyme. And I just had a small appearance in that just for a few seconds. And so many people I've run into years later that tell me, oh, I saw you in the freestyle documentary. And there's great, great freestylers in that documentary, from Black Thought to Supernatural, Craig G, Mos Def. There's so many dope artists. Freestyle Fellowship, AC Alone. I can't remember. Is Tony Blackman in there? There's a lot. Medusa's in there. There's so many dope. I say Micah 9. Anyway, all these dope freestylers, Jurassic 5, shouts to them, are in that movie, on that documentary film about freestyling off the top and the culture of ciphers and hip hop. And I'm in it too. So I actually ran into some people that I saw in the film because I was watching it. And then, 3-4 years went by. I ran into them at a show somewhere. And I'm like, oh, what's up? And we just gave each other a pound. He's like, GMS. I'm like, oh, yeah. And like, they recognized me from the movie and I recognized them from the movie. But we had never actually met in person. But we just felt we knew each other because we'd seen our parts in the same movie. So that's another way some people might have come here, because there's a viral clip on YouTube. It's Mos Def freestyling in Central Park. You can do a Google search if you want to see what I look like 30, 20, 22 years ago, 22, 23 years ago. I had long flowing hair, still had the beard. I might have had a goatee. No, I think I had the full beard still. Looked basically the same if I had a hat on, but I've got this big head of blonde brown hair. They used to, in rap battles, used to say I look like they used to call me Jesus. They got me battling Jesus, Nems would be like, don't ever disrespect me looking like a white Jesus or something like that, I think Pac FM once called me Bon Jovi or something. So I'm battling a rock dude, Bon Jovi. But yeah, that was my look. You'll find that Cypher with Mos Def. And there's a bunch of other people in there. LR Blitzkrieg, Pac FM, Ken Boogaloo, AL Skills is in that footage. I don't remember everyone in it. It's a circle of us. It was like, over a dozen people. And Mos Def. And of course, on the viral footage is about Mos Def's verse, because he really spit, a hot verse. I think it was off the top. There's some parts in there that I feel are lines or maybe little routines that you throw in, a couple bars here and there that you use a lot. Not necessarily a verse you wrote, but you throw in those couplets. But definitely some of it, if not all of it, is off the top freestyle. And that's what the movie was about. And Mos Def, bodied that Cypher. We all were rhyming for a while. They just showed a little clip with Mos Def rhyming. But a lot of people see it, and I'm listening to the song, and I'm doing this. My head's bobbing, and my hair is swaying, and I got on a silver jewelry pendant, and I got on a silver bracelet and watch, and I had a lot of silver on back in those days. I was into a lot of jewelry, but not gold, silver jewelry. So I just had a very distinct look, and it didn't look like what you would see and say that's an MC or that's hip hop. That's why people would say, you look like a Bon Jovi or some rock or heavy metal dude, because I didn't really try to look like a rapper all the time. I just I represented, and to some degree I was into, clothing that was fashionable in hip hop. But at the same time, there were things about me that were a little different. I had a little bit of hippie, a little, white boy hippiness about me with all the silver jewelry. I used to wear beads, and so it stands out. A lot of people recognize me from that video. I remember I went to some premiere with Sheena. She was working at the Public Theater, and they have a rap party after they do a play. And it was, a lot of celebrities and actors in there. I don't remember everyone who was in that one. I think it was Othello. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's all these big time actors, like huge people, Alec Baldwin, Jeffrey Wright. And they're walking around and they're having the rap party. It's an industry thing. And I'm only there because my wife is involved with the production. She did the costumes, right, for the show. So I'm like, cool, we're going to this thing that's not really the type of event I normally go to. I go to clubs, dance to music. I go to hip hop events. So she got me into this rap party after the show, all the cast and the producers and the workers and the actors and everything. And of course, the costume shop. And she goes to introduce me to someone. I don't remember who it was. Someone who's an actor, who's well known. And they turned around and said, hi, this is my boyfriend Graham or something. And went to shake hands, and he goes, you're in the freestyle documentary, right? You're in that Cypher with Most Def. So I'm like, wow, that footage has at least 100 million views on YouTube and TikTok and everything, because if you find it on YouTube, many people have uploaded it. So one video might have 6 million views. Another one might have 10 million views. On TikTok, it might have 4.5 million. Someone might have just uploaded on a small channel and it got another 100,000. But it's been around for 20 something years getting views. Not like it happened in a week. So maybe you know me from that. Maybe you were in that Cypher in Central Park, or maybe you've been in a Cypher with me. I really like to connect with my people that I've ciphered with, either at a show. Tell me, was it like outside of Tramps, Knitting Factory, SOBs, Nuyorican, the Cooler? Where was it? What was the show? Who was throwing the event? Who was performing? Remind me of, what was going on at the time. If we ciphered on West 4th Street, there's a whole community of people, like 100 of us, that we used to just go out on the weekends. We were teenagers, can't go to a club when you're between like 16 and 19, and you don't have a lot of money and you're hanging out. So you could just go hang out at night with a couple of friends and you walk around the village, right? Maybe you try to look at girls, maybe you go get some pizza, and we used to get into ciphers. And we used to go to West 4th Street, West 8th Street, walk 6th Avenue and find people. And if we saw someone ciphering, we'd run up, oh, you guys run, and we'd get in the cipher. Or we would start the cipher, either me or Wild Child would beatbox, or someone else there would beatbox, or someone would have a radio with a tape, and play beats for the cipher. So a lot of us were, oh yeah, Chena says she remembers that party. It was in the castle at Central Park. It was an opening night party. It wasn't the rap party. I thought it was a rap party. I think it was Othello. It was a Shakespearean play. So it was either Othello or something else, Midsummer Night's Dream, some Shakespearean play. But anyway, yeah, so if you know me from a cipher, let me know. And maybe you know me from a professional development workshop, because I stay cool with a lot of teachers. I've taught at PS 276. I've taught at PS 287. I've taught at PS 29. I've substitute before becoming a full teacher. I was substitute teacher, PS 39, where I went. That was cool. I went back to the school that I went to, my elementary school, PS 39, Park Slope, and I got a job for a few days as a sub. But after a while, I got hired full time, so I stopped subbing. But maybe you know me from one of those schools, and maybe you did an internship program, the Stairs Academy Internship. Maybe you helped us build a website, or maybe you were helping me put cybersky.org up, because interns helped me with that. Interns helped us with the It's So Fun website. It helped us with the Stairs Academy website. So yeah, if you did an internship with my nonprofit, Stairs Academy, let me know. Where did we meet? How do we know each other? How did it go down? Let me know in the comments. That's all for today. This is the Along the Way with GMS podcast, where I chronicle, what's going on with the album Along the Way 777. And you will be getting updates along the way, as well as music along the way. I will give you a little peek into the future. After this Friday, March 4th at 7 p.m., when we premiere the video on the MCMI Report channel, and then at 7:30, we premiere it on Cybersky Videos. So wherever you're watching this, you're already, if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe, and you'll probably get a notification that the video is live. But ring the bell for notifications. And also, like I said earlier in the broadcast, go to the YouTube. See if I can find that. Hang on. Is this the YouTube? No, I don't have it up anymore. Go to the YouTube channel that you're watching this on, and look at the upcoming videos that haven't been published yet, that have a premiere. And click set a reminder, and it'll give you a little notification, let you know when the video drops. But after that video, the next single that I'm working on is a song that I put it out on Bandcamp already, like years ago. I made this song years ago. It's called Freedom, How We Get. And the song didn't get enough light, so I'm bringing it back. It features a great singer and lyricist, but he's not rapping on this one. He's just singing, who goes by the name of Chords Cordero. Chords Cordero is really dope. I don't know if you can see above me right there where it says Freedom in red on the black background. That's the cover art for the next single. And I'm re-releasing it, and I'm going to release multiple different alternate mixes and versions of it, including we're going to do, I don't have the info yet because it's not scheduled, but we're going to do the EO Beats. I don't know if you guys know the EO Beats Challenge. EOW is a hip hop organization out of New York. They do weekly open mics and showcases, and they do MC challenges where MCs compete in different categories in front of judges, and then the winners battle, or not battle, but they do a challenge against the other winners. They call that the Challenge of Champions. And they've been hosting shows like Rocksteady, and they've been, opening end of the week chapters, EOW chapters in like 9 different countries around the world. And one of the things that they do now is they have a Zoom and Twitch channel where they have a contest where producers, sometimes I don't know if they're doing it live again, but during the pandemic, they've been doing everything online. They might do it live now. They get producers and they give them a task, like everybody make a beat with this, and then, or do a remix of this record. And then all the producers make their track. They have like 3 hours to make it in real time right there. And then time's up and everybody shows what they made, and the winner gets some money and the recognition of having won that challenge. So I'm arranging for EOW for myself to be like a guest for one of those events. And I'm putting up Freedom to do a remix because I made the beat like 20 years ago. It's a really old beat and I still like it. It's very jazzy. It's very boom bap 90s, old school hip hop sound. I still like it though. I feel like it holds up. That's why I'm putting it out. I wouldn't put it out if it wasn't dope how it is already. I would just leave that in the past, but it's such a dope record. It's stood the test of time, in my opinion. So now we're going to see if the world agrees as I put it onto this Along the Way 777 project. So there's going to be a new version of it produced by someone at the EOW Challenge, whichever producer does the best beat. And they're going to get paid, by the way. Not only are they going to get money from the contest, because EOW gives out a few $100s to the winner, but I'm going to use that. I'm going to release it and put it on the project, and we're going to put it out digitally, and we're also going to put it on as an NFT. And when we do the NFT, the producer is going to get their royalties, their percent, every NFT that's sold, every time it's resold, etc. They're going to get paid in cryptocurrency. So that's exciting. That's a different aspect that I don't think they've done in the EOW Beach Challenge before. So that's what's coming up. Just looking forward to that. And then I think song number 3 that's going to drop along the way is Circle of Life, which is an autobiographical story of growing up and getting into hip hop at a young age and having trouble in school at a young age. And, I mentioned in the teacher song, I said I'm the high school dropout that became the teacher. Whoa. Yeah, so I tell a little more of that story in the Circle of Life. I just give you a little more, and we shot a music video. It's not 100% finished, but it's like 90%. We got to do a little more editing. Shout out to Borderland Films, Borderland Films, who did the video. But yeah, that really tells a story and gives you a little more. But then also growing up and becoming a teacher myself, and ending up going to college, doing my college radio show, rapping, doing performances with my group Hydra, The Plague, all that. And then eventually starting, the way I got into teaching is I started teaching private music students. I mentioned this in one of the other Along the Way podcasts. So if you want to hear more about that, make sure you go back and listen to episode 1, 2, and 3. They're all good. But yeah, one of them I explained how I got into teaching. First, through teaching how to juggle, and then someone wanted me to teach their kids piano lessons. And so my father and stepmother are both piano instructors or music instructors. They teach all instruments and voice. And this guy wanted someone to come to their house and teach the kids in the house. And my parents don't do house calls. They have a music school. You got to come to them. So at a young age, somewhere between 14 and 16, I started teaching this guy's kids how to play piano. And that's what started me teaching music. So I mentioned that in the song, Circle of Life. At the end, I start out with my dad growing up and things he went through and how he became a music teacher. He got a few music students because he learned guitar and piano at a young age. So then he got a few students to start teaching music. So then at the end of the song, we've come full circle and I'm getting a few students, and I'm like, I said something like, I tried a few 9-to-5s, but before you knew it, I got a few students, started teaching music, and then it's like the circle of life. in the end, you become your father, no matter how different you try to be, you know? So that's a fun song. That's going to be record number 3 out of the original 7, which are going on to this Along the Way 777 project. So give you a little bit more info on that. But that's really about it for today. So thank you for joining us. I appreciate it on the Cybersky channel. Welcome to the Cybersky. Let's learn something and MCMI report in hip hop we trust. Don't forget to let's see, the single is out. Leave a comment below the video, and just throw up my slogans a couple of times. And don't forget to let me know, how do we know each other? Put that in the comments. How did we meet? I want to know. And I'm going to go out with the theme song again. Now, the beat that you hear on the intro and the outro of these podcasts is another one of the records. I didn't talk about that one yet. This beat is coming out too. It's going to be part of the Along the Way 777 compilation. But that's enough for today. Thanks for sticking with me. It's been over an hour. And yeah, share this with friends, especially if you know someone who knows me. Send this to them so that they can put in the comments how we met and how we know each other. And, you know, it's all love. So until next time, just keep staying positive, and remember, the best revenge is success. So stay healthy and stay blessed. And I'll see you guys on Friday, 7 p.m. on MCMI Report, 7:30 on Cybersky Videos, and we'll launch that video for the song Teacher. All right, we'll go out with the music from Along the Way 777. Have a great night, and shout out to all the independent artists out there doing their thing. But let me know, how do we meet?